For more, let's go to Bucharest. Oana Popescu is director of the GlobalFocus Center think tank. Thank you for being with us here on France 24.
Thank you for having me.
How serious are, first off, these allegations of a plot to topple the pro-EU government in Moldova?
Well, I think they're very serious. It wouldn't be the first time that Moscow is trying this. Something similar happened in 2014, which was unveiled by the Moldovan Secret Services. It involved Gogos citizens, so from the Gogos separatist minority in Moldova. And Russia has a lot of levers within the country, not just in the separatist regions of Transnistria and Gagauzia, but also within the Moldovan political establishment. The whole thing started last fall with so-called protests orchestrated by the party of fugitive leader Ilan Shor. So really, Moldova is a country that is not hard to destabilize by Russia because it's in a dire economic situation. Militarily, because of its neutrality, it is unequipped to face any sort of hostile action from Moscow. And politically, the current government, which has been extremely pro-European, pro-Western, and is actually making a radical shift in the position of Moldova over the past few years, obviously has to tread a very fine line between its pro-Western aspirations and then the power that Russia has, not just on a political level, but also within society, because there's Moldova is a country that's still split. There are a lot of Russian speakers. There are a lot of Russian citizens. There are those who not necessarily sympathize with Russia, but kind of have got used to Moldova being somewhere in between. And the priority for them is just make do from one day to the other, especially under the pressure of inflation, war in the neighborhood. So there are a lot in Moldova who fear provoking Russia. So then again, as I was saying,
so in that context, Oana Popescu, what to make of this cabinet reshuffle that we've had?
Oh, the cabinet reshuffle is no surprise, and I doubt it has anything to do with the recent developments. This was announced from roughly October of last year. The government has had some internal tensions. Prime Minister govt didn't want to step down at the time, but the name of Dorin Recean, the one who is going to take over, was actually put up ever since last fall. So this really comes as no surprise. It just comes with a certain delay, but everybody knew that the reshuffle was going to happen, perhaps precisely in order to consolidate this dimension of security, considering that Dorin Recean used to be interior minister. He was the president's security advisor until recently. So he has the ability to see Moldova through this potential incoming storm.
What to make of Moldova's airspace being closed for 2 hours? Authorities yet to say exactly why. I see that where you are, Romania's Air Force detected an aerial object that looked like a weather balloon flying in the country's airspace. Could the two be linked? Was it just caution? Do we know any more?
Not at this point. As far as I know, I think some of the news in Romania was that it might have been actually a drone type object. Anyway, I'm quite sure that under the circumstances, which, as you can see, present a number of unknowns, this was done primarily out of caution to ensure the security of civilian aircraft and civilian flights. And then maybe there was also information that it might have been linked to these attempts to destabilize the country. I'm quite sure we'll probably find out more in the coming hours and days.
One final question. Oana Popescu, Moldova and Romania share a common language, but as you say, one is a neutral former Soviet state, the other is a NATO member. How do Romanians feel about what's going on right now inside of Moldova?
Well, I think we look to Moldova with a lot of worry. I would say first and foremost because Moldova has made a very clear statement that it's willing to embrace a European future. Ukraine has done the same, and look at what's happening right now. So I think there are legitimate fears that Moldova might face a similar fate, and then for Moldova, it's actually easier, as I was saying, to destabilize than Ukraine, perhaps. So if Russia manages to push Moldova back into its fold, that's a very bad sign for the regional security and stability of the entire Black Sea region. So I think, among other things, this is the message that the government in Chișinău is trying to send by giving visibility to these issues, which, as I was saying, are not necessarily new. But I think President Maia Sandu and her government have the difficult task to convince their own society to follow when they say we're going to have a very firm pro-Western position, which just happens to conflict with Russia's interests. So I think we see this as a very existential battle, if you wish, these weeks and these months to see if Moldova is going to be able to freely choose its destiny, or it's going to face significant opposition from Russia, which is trying to essentially tell not just Moldova, but the West in general, you will not be allowed to extend your influence so close to our borders. We are going to fight back.
Oana Popescu, I want to thank you so much for joining us from Bucharest.
Thank you.